Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are PDI trainee preparing for your ADI Part 3 test, you might be asking this question: how many trainee hours are compulsory for me to pass the ADI Part 3 test? Many PDI are confused because the different trainers and driving school give different answers about it. So in this video, I will explain the official requirement, recommended hours, and what DVSA expect from you to become a qualified driving instructor in the UK. Before we talk about hours, let's quickly understand what is ADI Part 3 test is. The ADI Part 3 test is the final stage of this process to become a driving instructor in the UK. In this test, examiner checks your ability to teach the learner driver safely and effectively. They assess you using the 17 teaching competencies, which include lesson planning, risk management, teaching and learning strategy. You must score in these three areas to pass, and minimum number to pass is 31 score out of 51. Now the big question: is this compulsory for me, the number of hours, which is a 40 number of hours for ADI Part 3 training? The answer is the DVSA does not set any compulsory number for training hours. You have to understand this. However, most professional instructors or trainers or driving school recommend you minimum 40 hour of Part 3 training. Understand this. Minimum. They're recommending. Who's recommending this? The trainers and driving school. But DVSA did not recommend you any minimum number legally. So this is where everybody get confused. When people say it's a 40-hour training for Part 3, try to understand that is a minimum standard, minimum 40-hour training where you feel you can teach safely and effectively to a learner. Minimum, but not set by the DVSA. They are just recommendation by the trainers, by the driving school. This training usually include in-car training, which can be ADI trainers, ORDIT trainers. You learn how to do the lesson planning, you practice about it, you learn how to teach a real client, and you do some mock test for a Part 3. So that's a mixture of many things. How you're going to teach people and how you're going to pass the Part 3 test and check your understanding after doing assessment and mock test. But the main thing is, without doing this kind of training, which is minimum 40 hours recommended, the Part 3 test is very difficult for you to pass. The reason the trainer recommends you to do around 40-hour training because you need the time to develop your skills. Like learners have 27 skills to develop before they come for the learner test. You also have the skills to develop before you come for the teaching test, which is a Part 3 test. So for example, you have to develop your skill how to teach, teaching skills, lesson planning, risk management around the car, and then your coaching technique, which is known as question answer technique. Remember, you are not just learning to drive anymore. So it's not about driving. It's not a Part 2. It's Part 3. You are learning how to teach someone else safely for lifetime. That is also important, for lifetime. That takes practice and professional guidance. So then, if you think you need 100 hours, take 100 hours. If you're clever enough and you think you need 20 hours, just take 20 hours. If you think you don't need any hours, you're clever enough, and you just go online and take all the information and you don't need nothing, then remember, you don't need anybody. You can do Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 without any hours, without any trainer, without any school. This is not a degree. Becoming a driving instructor is not a degree. You're just developing your skills. Once you develop your skills, you can go for the test and pass. Maybe you already have that skills. Maybe you're already a teacher in the schools, in the university. Then you already have these skills. Then you understand this course and then go and do it. So there is no requirement of 40 hours. Remember that. There is no requirement. Okay? Some PDI also apply for the trainee batch. Now this is a separate topic now. If you're applying for the training batch, like some people love to apply for the training batch, so they can teach the real client and generate some income as well while teaching. That is called a trainee batch or known as a pink batch. This allows you to teach the learners while preparing for your part 3 in the real life scenarios. But the DVSA require, that is where the DVSA require at least the 40 hours of instructor training before applying for the training batch. So now this is where the meat come, that you need a 40 hours training. No, you need the 40 hours training if you decide it to go for the pink batch and you want to apply for the pink batch. Then the DVSA put the condition that you take the minimum, again, minimum 40 hours training, minimum. Okay, there is no maximum. You know yourself better how much you need it, but minimum 40 hours. So at least a 40-hour instructor training before applying the pink batch. Out of that 40 hours, 25%, which is a 10 hours, must be in car with your trainer. And then remaining 75%, which is a 30 hours, you can take this information anywhere with your trainer, provider, or with your company or with your instructor trainer. This can be softwares to teach you something, webinars, Zoom meetings, videos already prepared for you to teach the course, like an online teaching course. And then somebody will check your knowledge to assess you that you have the knowledge online after the course and you pass the course, something like that. And then they will sign you the paper, which is called 21 form, 21T form. That means 21 training form. And then in that form, you declare you done this 40 hours training. So this is the one of the reasons the 40-hour training standard become common. And this is where people think they need it. But remember again, if you are going for your trainee batch and you need a trainee batch, then you need a minimum 40-hour training to declare in front of the DVSA. But after you take the trainee badge, you need another 20-hour additional training again in first 3 months of the trainee batch, which can be supervision by the trainer, like trainer sit at the back and you teach the real client 20 hours, or you take another further training, which we call 21 AT form, 21 additional training form. Then you declare again minimum 20-hour training additionally after getting the pink badge in first 3 months or before going for your part 3 test. In case you fail the part 3 test, then you do another 5 or 6 hours minimum further training again, 21 additional training again with your trainer to improve your mistakes. So they are again additional. So see, there is no numbers, but these all conditions if you take the trainee badge. If you don't take the trainee badge, just take the lessons, how to teach, how to do part 3 test. You can go straight for your part 3 test. My advice to the PDI preparing for the part 3. Choose the best ADI trainer local, where you can see him daily basis, regular, weekly, monthly. Again, there is a myth here. You don't need an ORDIT trainer. It can be any trainer. Any good instructor can teach you. Any ADI trainer can teach you. And any old ADI can teach you. Any ORDIT trainer can teach you, or anybody can teach you who know how to teach you. So don't look for the ORDIT one. Look for the best one. That is the main thing. Look for the accreditation, how many CPDs they've done in the past, for how long they're doing this job, what experience they have in teaching, what qualification they have in teaching, what skills they have in them to teach you. So just look for these things and look for the recommendation. And if they know how to teach you is enough. Focus on your marking sheet, which is called 17 competencies, lesson planning, risk management, teaching and learning strategy. Try to master these skills, competencies in your daily basis driving, which becomes your second nature. Practice that teaching real skills with your real learners or with your friend and family. Apply every day in your teaching every day in the skills, develop that skills. And try to do some mock test assessment before you go for your real driving test. If you don't have a good lesson plan, if you don't have a good lesson structure, you can't manage the race, you don't know any other teaching style, and you're just teaching, you don't know how to do a coaching, then your skill is not developed and you're more likely to fail. The main goal is not just passing the test. You may be passed the test in 31 number, or after failing 3 attempts, start the theory again, start the part 2 again, do the part 3 again free, fail another 2 attempts, again new badge, another repeat the badge or pink badge again, then come again, and then finally you pass with 31 number. Well done. But the matter is not solved here that you just passing your test. You're teaching somebody for a life. It's a life skill. And also this is not a degree. Becoming a driving instructor is not like your professional degree or something. You're not a teacher, because if you're a teacher, then you should teach in the university with degree, PhD degree, then you teach somebody. It's not a degree. It's just skills. You develop that 4 main skills, and you develop that skills and transfer that skill into your learners. That is the main thing. So the goal is becoming a professional and safe instructor. That's it. So if you're a PDI preparing for ADI Part 3 and need training or guidance, feel free to contact me. If you know already following me, then you know I'm Mia Qasim. I'm ORDIT trainer. I'm based in Leeds. I cover Leeds. I can give you help online in the Zoom meetings or video calls on the WhatsApp. And if you're new at this channel, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, turn the notification, share this video with other PDI groups so other PDI people also can help from there, because I regularly share ADI Part 3 training tips, PDI advices, and instructor trainings like lesson planning, mock tests. So see you next time in another video with another tip for you guys. I hope you understand you need this 40 hours or you don't need a 40 hours. Thank you. Bye.